us. Zachariah, are you here, my man? I think you are. He fell off. We're doing a Heat Check Friday Night Live. Nothing's coming through, man. You got no volume. You got nothing.
What?
There you are. Keep on
Come
coming.
on.
Keep on coming. Nice to see you this evening, y'all. Thanks for joining us. Friday Night Live. Zach's on struggle mode. We put this together last second. I was all pumped. I'm like, it's Friday night. The kids were out. I was having a
You
few
got me or
cocktails.
no?
Realized I had some free
You
time.
got me or no?
I mean, I got you in completely frozen and 10 million pixels and all that jazz. I'm hearing you every once in a while. Hopefully, you can figure this out. Otherwise, we're in big trouble, pal. Because we're gonna count on you.
All right, you hold it down solo for a minute. Let me reset this.
All right, you reset this. So we decided to go solo tonight. Zach puts me out on an island. God bless him. The least experienced podcaster of the crew. He says, we're going to just have you F it, go live. So, all right, F it. We're going to do it live. We are sponsored again tonight. Our sponsor came back to us. We really appreciate the dedication to the show from our sponsor. They've really been with us for a while now. So that is Mr. Jim Beam. Thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate that sponsor. We are just chilling, kicking back on a Friday night. We weren't with each other. So we said, what better way than to hang out on a podcast if we want to hang out anyway? And he's in Berkeley Hills. I'm out in Brentwood. And so this was the best we could do. Yeah, so Zachariah, I hope you join us soon. I'm not sure what's going on. You're just frozen on the screen right now. Okay, you finally fell off. So, man, a lot has happened since we spoke on Tuesday. I know the OG Hum Daddies had their show last night. That was a good time talking Niners, talking history of the Niners, talking just different favorite moments. Tonight, man, I was really relying on Z because we were just going to chop it up. We didn't have much to cover. We just wanted to chop game, some shop talk, just chop it up. So I'll do that for a while, and hopefully he joins us and maybe it'll be a shorter show if he doesn't figure this out. God bless his heart. But I've had some more and more reactions to Draymond Green situation. And I know people are tired of the Kuminga situation, but something I've been talking about since I started joining the podcast, and I know I talked about it on Tuesday, and something that I continue to just feel strongly is, man, it is tough watching the Warriors stay so just like devoted and connected and thinking about what the Warriors are because of Draymond and what they could have been maybe if they didn't have this connection to just, we have to win with Draymond. We have to do it this way. And so, I start there and just think about, man, how bad was he on um, last night, man? He losing his temper, playing terrible basketball, doing nothing positive for the team, and then coming out after the game and just, I know that is, that's the crew, right? It was Steph, it was Clay, it was Draymond. It's hard to have any sort of negative reaction to them having fun together. After that game, of course they're going to chop it up. Of course they're going to laugh. Of course they're going to dap it up. Of course they're going to tell stories. But my God, the the juxtaposition of how Draymond Green is playing, how much he is struggling when he is on the floor, the amount they lost the game while he was on the floor that night, and to see him so jovial, so happy, really says a lot about where these Warriors are right now. So that was just, it was on the one hand easy to watch because that's where Warriors fans are and that's where I'm at. But man, this fool's out here just chilling. He's laughing it up. Z, I'm just um, talking Draymond. I'm talking Warriors. I'm talking how pathetic he was on Thursday, and then just laughing it off all game or post game with his boys. Which, like I was just telling everybody, of course it makes sense. You're with Clay, you're with Steph, you're the dynasty, you're the big three. Of course you're gonna have fun after the game, but it was hard to see after he was such a pivotal piece of losing the game, after he was like the central player of losing the game, and after he played such a bad game, to just be out there with 0 Fs on the loss was a little hard to see. So I don't know if you saw that and if you have any thoughts on that, but that chapped my eye a little bit.
Well, I'm a little surprised that we're starting with basketball and not football, but that's fine. Basketball is on the brand. We're going to need position because after 3 weeks from tomorrow or Sunday, There will be no more football. In terms of your breakdown, I would say that Draymond is by far, over the past damn near 2 decades, like the most controversial dub. Like, everybody loves Iguodala. I mean, maybe Kuminga has more hatred than Draymond, but I think everybody loves Steph no matter what. Everybody loves Clay, even though they didn't have the best breakup. Draymond has this thing where you have people that are in my camp where I say no matter what he does that's detrimental to the team, he was very important for a team that you could ultimately call soft outside of the toughness that he brought, and was huge for them winning their 4 championships. And so he'll always be on the right side of my book. KD,
well, Zach, I think you'll be hard pressed to find. Can I jump in real quick? I think you'll be hard pressed to find any Dubs fan that disagrees with that. I mean, I would never disagree with that. And anybody who's frustrated with Draymond in the past 2 years is on board with that. I mean, I just want to name that. Like, there's very, very, very.
Well, what about
Warriors fans that are like?
What about Andrew Keogh? What about Andrew Keogh? Just full blown hates him.
That's one person. Do you know anyone else? That's one name I could drop that really thinks Draymond is actually not a huge key contributor to the Warriors. Anybody that I interact with on Twitter, anyone I interact with on Instagram, any other of our friends pretty much see him as pivotal. I'm one of the most vocally
Draymond?
Say it again.
Okay. Is pro Draymond? I thought it was a little more split. I could be wrong.
Well, again, no, pro what you just described. I don't think you could find many Warriors fans that wouldn't agree with your first half of your statement. I interrupted. Remember, you were on something, right? All I was saying was nobody's going to disagree with the premise you set out of sitting on the side of him being absolutely huge for the 4 Warriors championships. We're people who are frustrated in Draymond are talking 2024, 2025, 2026. We're talking the last 3 years of Draymond.
No. That shit went before the last title over the Celtics. They were frustrated with him. The antics, the technical fouls, the punching out Jordan Poole, all that stuff. Well, I mean, that's been going on for a long time. I think that the Warriors fan base, and I could be wrong. I mean, this is why I love putting stuff on the poll on Twitter, which, by the way, everybody voted for Indiana. When I put my poll on, Indiana or Miami, everybody said Indiana, and they ended up being right, even though Miami had a chance to win that game driving down with the last possession. I think if you put the Draymond poll up, I think it would be more pro Draymond. I'm with you on that, but I think it would be closer to 60-40 than like 75-25 or even 66-33.
Yeah, I mean, I think you do bring up a point that I sort of forgot. There was a little bit of the frustration about Draymond where, he has done things that got him ejected, and then we lose the finals and things of that nature. But most people fell on the side of blaming LeBron for that.
Kick LeBron in the dick.
Yeah, but most people blame LeBron for that.
Suspended.
That was early. Most people were blaming LeBron for crying to the media.
Who blames LeBron for that?
Well, I mean, I think a lot of people, I certainly didn't think it was great of him to go complain in the media about it and sort of help get that suspension. He really helped line that suspension up, if I recall.
Well, the bottom line is he kicked LeBron in the dick.
Yeah, bottom line is they were tangled up. It's not that big a deal, man. Come on. See, now you got me full on my support. You don't kick it. You see?
Okay. And I'm usually the pro Draymond guy. You don't kick a guy in the balls and expect to get away with it. Anyways, moving on from that, I think it's a lot more split than you think. If you were to poll Warriors fans, whether or not you are pro Draymond or anti, I mean, you sound like you think the majority of the people are pro him. You think it's just came over the past few years. But that has been a big part of this whole transition. And let's not forget, Bob Myers kind of just went off into the sunset after winning the 4 championships and getting credit for all that. But the whole making the transition of them having the number 2 pick, having Moody, and having all these other guys that have come in where they were supposed to make the transition from the old to the young. You can blame Kerr all you want, but there's a lot of blame that has gone in there of them not being able to do it. I don't think Steph would have cared so much, but I think Draymond, specifically with that incident of him punching out Poole, your boy, had a lot to do with them not being able to make that transition from old to young, which they could have done seamlessly.
Well, so now you're hitting on the point. And now that is where I think Dub Nation has a huge bunch of chatter about, and more and more and more, I'm finally seeing something I feel like I've been saying for at least a year now, and many others, but I don't think it was popular sentiment, was stuck on the fact that why are the Warriors so glued to Draymond Green? Like, you can't get stuck in the past. Yes, he was integral for what he did, but I think it was pretty easy to see that he was slowly but surely becoming a deficit more than an asset. And I think a player of his sort of mindset, where it's all defense and all sort of attitude, at a certain point when your team's not good enough, that doesn't go that far. And the Warriors, so maybe it's not Draymond's fault, but the Warriors aren't good enough to have that roster spot held up by somebody who self-admittedly can't shoot. Self-admittedly.
Now, yes. Yeah. Well, now, yes, and especially with Jimmy Butler being out for the year. Of course not now.
Well, even with Jimmy Butler, man, come on. All these guys, I mean, yeah, he was all right. They were working out because Jimmy's were all.
I'll remind you. Yeah. Last year, got out of the first and probably would have gotten out of the second, which would have been in the Western Conference Finals if Steph hadn't gotten hurt.
Yeah. I also just think, man, it's like, and I won't repeat myself too long. I'll make this quick. But again, it's like everybody's so excited by how tough he is and how much he can play bigs, but it's silly to make him do that all the time. So the whole Warriors strategy for the past forever, but now, again, when you could have made a transition, could have tried to go a different direction, it's just silly the way they went. But anyway, how we doing tonight, Billy? Friday night, having a cocktail? What you drinking? I got my Jim Beam and water.
Friday night, Jim Beam and water?
Uh-huh.
I just got some lemonade.
Lemonade? Nobody's buying that.
Well, there could be something in the lemonade. I didn't say it was just lemonade.
Most likely.
Anyways, are we for anybody watching right now? I tried to promote this, but we'll be at the Kingfish, which, by the way, one of the funniest things that could ever make me feel better about me not losing my mind was that it's at the Kingfish, and I thought it was at this one Kingfish, but then there was pictures of the other Kingfish. Then I come to find out they cut it up, like literally sawed it in half like my brother did with the Lumber Baron, and then took a forklift and moved it across the street to the other Kingfish. Anyways, there's only one Kingfish, even though there's two Kingfishes, and I was confused, but we'll be at Kingfish on Sunday, and it should be a fun time.
Yeah, we'll be there all day for both games. 12. Is the first game starting at 12? What time's that first game starting?
Well, it's funny because they specifically said 12:30. I think the first game is at noon, but we're not starting until about 12:30.
Yeah, we'll be there at noon. Coverage starts.
You can show up whenever you want.
Yeah,
should be fun though. Last real football Sunday. Then you get a week off, and then the Super Bowl. Art, this is the first time in guess how many years that either Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes were not in the AFC Championship game.
Since we can remember. How about that? Since I'll try to remember the last.
You're supposed to underguess. You're supposed to underguess to make it.
Let me try to remember the last.
You're supposed to say like 6 years. You're supposed to say like 6 years so that my answer sounds more impressive.
Well, everybody knows, everybody knows it's Patrick Mahomes' world. Everybody else is living in it, and everybody knew it was Brady's. Let me try to think about Brady's last. Let me think about the last time Brady didn't make the AFC Championship. My God, my brain doesn't go back that far. So we're in 2026. It's got to be in the 2010s, maybe. 2010. Yeah, my brain doesn't work that well. I can't remember an AFC Championship game that didn't involve the Patriots, basically. So do you have any idea who it was? Tell me how long, and then tell me who the hell the teams were, if you can, or I'll look it up.
Well, I already know the answer.
What's the answer? Go hit us with the answer. How long has it been? It's been ages.
15 years.
15 years since the two GOATs have been out of the AFC Championship. Do we know who the heck
It
played
was
in that?
Ben Roethlisberger and
Peyton Manning, maybe?
no. God, it's pathetic that I don't know. Are you looking
I'm
it up?
Googling.
I just heard it. I know Ben is one. I forget the other.
Hold on.
Oh, it might be Mark Sanchez.
No way. That Brady.
I think so.
That Brady.
I think Mr. Butt Fumble. Mr. Butt, hey, don't laugh at Mr. Butt Fumble. He made the AFC Championship game twice with Rex Ryan.
Yeah, I don't want to be insensitive right now, so I'm going to tread easy right now. But what happened with him again? Did he have like a psychotic break, or did he just do something completely wild?
Well, he lost his job at Fox Sports as a commentator.
That was after the incident.
Yeah. He attacked a 76-year-old delivery driver and then got stabbed by him after he assaulted him. The guy stabbed him.
How's he doing?
Why'd you bring that up, man? I was just talking AFC Championship.
You brought it up, man. You brought up.
Well, no, I didn't bring up the assault. I just brought up Mark Sanchez.
Who thinks of anything but that assault when they think Mark Sanchez right now? The guy's face,
first of all,
I was all over YouTube, bloody coming down an alley, man. I mean, what are we thinking about other than that? He's got two things we remember him for: a butt fumble and a crazy assault.
I think of three things before I think of the assault of Mark Sanchez. Number one, I think the butt fumble when he literally ran into a person's butt and lost a fumble. Number two, I think of Bart Scott can't wait when he goes to the AFC Championship game back-to-back years. Number three, I think of his time at USC. And then number four, I think about him attacking a 67-year-old with a knife. So you're the jackass that goes straight to the assault.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, man, there's not much else to think about. And I'm sorry, I'm looking at my phone. I'm about to send a text to young Coop DeVille, see if he wants to come and
yeah, by the way, Dave G, our trusted producer of Hum Daddy / Heat Check, says that you need to be paying more attention when other people are talking. You're distracted and you're not paying attention to the other people that are on the cast.
Sorry about that. You know, I do.
Not a good look.
There's a bunch of combinations going on here when we're not looking. We got a full-blown ADHD brain, right? So there is some of it actually happening. We got to lock in. We got to make sure we're listening. You know, we got to do that. Number two, your boy's got two computer screens, you know? One computer screen is right here, and we're dialed in. We're locked and loaded. We're talking sports. We're talking podcasts. The other one is right here, all right? That's that left look. That left. Sometimes
what's over there on the left? Yeah, what's that?
Hitting the old Google. Sometimes we're Googling something, pal. Sometimes we're getting ready to talk about something, and your boy's thinking, man, I want to know something about Brock Purdy. Or, man, I want to see what Will Clark's numbers were in 1992. Or, man, I want to see, for instance, is Zach right? Was it Mark Sanchez in that last game? So sometimes you got to look left and hit that Google. But maybe I'll move my screen so that I stay a little more centered because I feel, Dave G, I got to stay engaged. By the way, you are correct, sir. Ben Roethlisberger versus Mark Sanchez, AFC Championship game, 2010. Who won the game? This should be easy. You better be able to answer that. Big Ben.
Oh,
I'll answer that for you.
Yeah, Sanchez was never in a Super Bowl. That's so easy.
We're not idiots. That's got to be the year he won the Super Bowl, right? Otherwise, there's no other year, right? Did he ever make? How many bowls did?
I don't think.
Did he make a second?
He won two. Yeah, he won two. I don't think he lost one. Or did he lose? He might have lost to Aaron Rodgers. He might have made three and won two. He won one with Cowher and one with Tomlin. He might have lost one to Rodgers. I don't know. You can look that up too on your third computer, pal.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Now I'm back looking down, texting with my guy Coop. Coop says special guest.
Coop DeVille's in the building.
Well, Coop DeVille says on the text, the real text line, like my text line, like my cellular phone on my text, because Gabe was making fun of me for calling it text line. Gabe, if you're listening, there is not a text line right now. Maybe in the future we will have a text line, but right now I'm just texting.
Well, the text line is
well, we got chat.
We have a chat line, don't we?
Oh yeah, we got the chat. Join us on the chat if you're listening. But yeah, Coop, not nimble enough to figure that out. I was just trying to tell him via text. I am certainly not nimble enough with my producer strategy to invite him while we are on the show. I am really clapping it up for me for getting this show up and running. About 7:15, I just asked you want to do a podcast, and we found a way to log into that.
Hang on. You're clapping it up for yourself?
Oh yeah, really solid job getting this thing up and going. Really impressed with myself. Clap it up for young.
I don't think I can't remember the last time I saw somebody clap it up for themselves.
When it's deserved. When it's deserved, you got to give a clap. All right, man. The guy got on there. He created some links. He sent out some invites. He got this thing dialed up, fired up, and now we got the masses listening. The numbers are showing we got 2.3 million.
Do we have any masses listening?
It looks like 2.3 million. Looks like 2.3 million right now. So that
would
that's
be
all you can ask for. Well, once we you go jump on in.
Oh, I was just gonna say a big omission from our Tuesday night live broadcast of Heat Check was that we had Baker Mayfield calling somebody pal, which was just great. We know about pal. I started the pal. People hate the pal, even though the funny part is more people that I have used pal on are using pal than I even use pal. I don't even use pal anymore, and you guys use pal. Anyways, Baker Mayfield, who was not, this didn't even come from the coach. A reporter put out how pathetic Stefanski's time was with the Browns and then listed off all the quarterbacks that he had. Baker saw the post. Remember, Baker took the Browns to the playoffs and beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh. That happened. And so Baker sees this from the reporter, not Stefanski at all. Stefanski goes to the Falcons. Baker sees the thing and goes, all pathetic is a stretch. What about my time? Can't wait to see you twice a year, pal. Talking to Stefanski, who didn't even tweet it. It was a reporter.
I loved it.
Have you seen any of this? Do you have any idea what I'm talking about?
Oh, I've seen it all. I thought you were going to just talk about the pal, and I thought you got so excited by the pal, you might not have the content. The content's the greatest thing ever. I love Baker, right? One of my few favorite players other than my Chiefs. I love Bake Show. Surprisingly love Bake Show. Didn't know I would love Bake Show. Really grew up. Like, that guy is just a fun football player to watch. So I hop on Twitter the other day, and before you would send me that message about it, I had seen it, and my oh my, did I love it. The guy is, it really, how you said you liked Stefanski? You wanted in Miami? To me, this is good riddance. To me, this shows he had something terribly wrong with Baker. He is clearly rubbed Baker Mayfield the most wrong you can possibly rub a quarterback, and he did have something good, and he did overlook it.
Well, Art, he said in the message, he said, I'm still waiting on the phone call after you drop me like a bad habit or whatever.
Exactly.
Like, Stefanski, I don't know if he had a part in kicking him out the door, but clearly he didn't even have a line of communication, which to me is a big red flag. Even if you want the guy gone, you call the guy and thank him for his time and then, say that he's gone. Yeah.
That's pretty much what I'm saying. So to me, that's a huge, like the fact that Baker really wanted to make that known is sort of saying that this has been weighing on him and that he had as bad a relationship as you kind of could have with that man. And so that really, to me, red flag for.
But again, Art, this is a tweet. This is a tweet from a reporter, not Kevin Stefanski.
Even more to the point, a tweet from a reporter triggered that out of Baker. So he hates the guy. Think about how much you got to hate the guy. It's not like Stefanski tweeted it. He just saw this and had to remind everybody, the Cleveland Browns were pretty damn good when I was there. Don't lump me in with Stefanski. He's saying this is. Don't forget there were a couple Baker years, or was there one Baker year? There were two, right? Were there two Baker years or one?
Two, yeah.
Two?
And they beat the Steelers on the road in the playoffs. I'm just saying Kevin Stefanski had nothing to do with that.
Well, Catching some strays.
So you're riding with Baker on this.
Oh, easy. Of course, I love Baker. I'm riding with Baker.
But but Kevin Stefanski had nothing to do with this tweet. This was a reporter.
Yeah, Stefanski should have called his boy. You don't call me, now you're getting called out on Twitter. Now everybody's gonna know you did it.
But for no reason. He didn't say anything.
No, I hear that. It's funny to bring it up out of nowhere, but I like it. These coaches get all these.
All right,
players always look bad, and I think to your point, I don't think we should dive too much into football. To your point, we should just keep chopping up and figure out whatever the hell we want to talk about, because I do think we're gonna have a lot to talk about for the games on Sunday. If you want to react,
no, we're not gonna do the games. We can save that. I want to talk about Stephen Ross introducing the defensive coordinator for the Packers that is now the head coach of the Dolphins, and he didn't even know. This is where it'd be great to play audio. This guy didn't even know the head coach's name.
I appreciate you knowing who these guys are, because I'm not going to pretend I know who these guys are. I'm going to just sit here and drink some booze and listen to you for a moment. So you talk to me about Kevin Ross and whoever the hell you're talking about. So what happened?
Kevin Ross?
I don't know who these guys are.
Owner of the Dolphins.
Okay, Stephen Ross. I'm supposed to know who Stephen Ross is?
Anyways.
So what happened?
You don't have to know who he is. He's the owner of the Dolphins. Anyways, he introduced the defensive coordinator for the Packers and did not know his name and had to look at papers and was clearly befuddled the whole time. And
is he the new head coach?
Let's move on. What do you want to talk about next? No, you clearly got nothing on this, so that's fine.
No, I got a lot on this. Is he the new head coach?
Yes, and he didn't know his name, and he's the owner. And he walked up to this is the first time in the history of an owner going to a press conference where the owner said his name. Like, I don't know if he's on drugs or not. You can look this bleep up. It's not even really funny if you're a Dolphins fan. He walked to the podium and said, "Hello, I'm Stephen Ross, general president, manager of the Dolphins." The mother bleeper is the owner. Then he proceeded to not know the name of the GM that he hired or know the name of the head coach that he hired, both that came from Green Bay, and had to look at a piece of paper. This is the owner of the team. This is why you should be able to fire or outvote. It should be like a president run. The owners of teams should have 4-year runs, and after every 4 years, you should be able to vote for a new owner. You can't just have an owner ruin your franchise for as many years. You know, the Dolphins, it's been 25 years since the Dolphins have won a playoff game. That's the longest stretch of any NFL team in the NFL. That means the Browns have won a playoff game since the Dolphins have. The Jaguars, the Panthers, any team that you want to mention. The Jets have won a playoff game since the Dolphins have won a playoff game. The Dolphins are the longest run, 26 years since the Dolphins won a playoff game. Stephen Ross should be, I don't want him to get killed. I just want him to get, what's that thing where you put there like a cloth with that chloroform?
No, we're not doing anything.
Put it over him.
We're not doing that. Just let the man step down. Just say you hope the guy steps down.
Well, he's not going to step down. He's a paint owning. He made all his money off of art, which is ironic because that's the emoji that we put for your name. Anyways, it's a disgrace.
So who's the best player in the NBA, Bill?
Who's the best player in the what?
In the NBA, National Basketball Association.
Oof. If we were picking, we're just talking about one game, right? We're not talking about like age and stuff.
Let's say we are talking about a player that you are going to have be as the centerpiece of your team for 3 years.
I think I'd still probably take the Joker.
You're going Joker. I like that.
I think so.
That's fair.
3 years? Yeah, he's what? He's like 28, 29? Yeah, I think I'm still going Joker.
Who's your favorite player?
Who would you go?
Well, let's go there in a second. I'm going to keep rattling off random questions. Who's your favorite player in the NBA,
Okay.
not on the Suns? I'll answer all these after.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to mention a bunch of Suns. Favorite player in the NBA?
Not on the Suns, and why?
Oh man, that's a great question. I think I would go. I got two in my brain. I'm trying to decide between the two, which I like most.
Give me both of them.
Aesthetically.
Give me both of them.
I'm gonna choose. I'm gonna choose Ant. My other answer would have been Wemby.
Okay,
but I think Ant is more. I think Ant is more aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah. Wemby's funny to me.
I got a really soft spot for Ant because Ant literally swept my Suns and then did whatever that wrestling move is where it's like suck it or whatever. Yeah. I don't know if that's cussing on the podcast, so my apologies. Yeah. But did that shit to KD, and KD's his favorite player. Ant's got some Tupac, Michael Jordan stuff in him. So I like him a lot. Wemby is I just see him more as a freak. He's not as aesthetically pleasing as Ant. So I would choose between those two, and I'd probably go with Ant. What's your answer? You got to answer these questions.
Yeah, I'll answer these questions. Okay.
By the way, Steph should be Steph should be on that list. Steph is probably third. It's just his game is a little bit.
Yeah, there's nobody. I'll tell you that if I get to pick my team too, and I get to build a team, and we can call it biased or not, I'm not worried. I think I'm going to win for sure. I'm taking Steph number one. Give me Steph all day. Just give me
over anybody.
Over anybody, but that's just including the fun factor. I'm just not worried about however much worse he is than the other players, right? Sure, Joker's better at this point.
Well, just not two-way.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just saying, sure, Joker's better. Sure, there's other guys at this point in their career that are probably better than Steph. But trust me, I can build my five to beat your five no matter who you start with. If I start with Steph, you can take Joker, you can take Giannis, you can take Wemby, you can take whoever you want, and I can figure it out with Steph because Steph is just Steph. If we're talking favorite players in the game, man, I immediately want to start talking about old players because it's hard. I don't even have a very obvious favorite player right now. You want to know who I was going to say? You're going to just laugh at me. It's so nonsense. It's complete nonsense. Guy hasn't played in the NBA in a decade.
Then he doesn't count.
Exactly. Zach Randolph, though. Get me that guy. Get me Zach Randolph. Suit him up. Get him out there. Let me get him working in the post. Let me see that left-handed shot. Let me see you bully somebody around. Throw that shoulder. Oh, man, do I love me some Zebo. Oh, man. But, okay, we're talking current NBA players. Who do I like the most? If we're talking absolute superstars, I think it's the boring answer, and I think it actually says a lot, and I think the NBA is doing a very bad job, frankly, of promoting him, is Ant Edwards. He's so likable, but we're not going to both say Ant Edwards. I think that's a lot of people's answer. So if we're going beyond that, I don't like Shai or Shea or however you want to say his name. I mispronounce a lot of names, and so do you. Wemby is Wemby's unbelievable, but I don't like him the most. We're talking favorites. A player I like a lot, and I like the team a lot, but I haven't watched him enough to call him my favorite player yet, is Jalen Johnson. I love him on Atlanta. I think he is just an absolute up-and-coming, absolute Studebaker. If you want to get going talking about a team, get me talking about Atlanta Falcons these days. Atlanta Falcons, that's the Jim Beam talking. But the Atlanta Hawks, I love me some Atlanta Hawks. Man, you got Dyson Daniels out of Australia. You got Okongwu. I can't even say his name. He's a young Z dropping off, chucking threes out of that center spot. You got Jalen Johnson. Man, that team just comes out. They're young, they're long, they're athletic. They got Rasasha shooting them trays. I love that team. Now they got McCollum coming with that veteran presence. I wonder if they're going to move him along and trade him and try to kind of stick to the youth movement, or if they're going to actually sort of try to lean in to this team, make their run, and use him as sort of their veteran presence. And so we'll see what they end up doing. But I love my Atlanta Hawks. Man. Yeah, hard to answer my own question. Favorite player? I think I just gave it to you. I'll go with right now liking Jalen Johnson a lot. This is probably fantasy basketball related. Haven't had him last year. Love Denny. Also on the Portland Trail Blazers. Love my guy Denny. The guy's out there just absolutely overachieving. You can't even believe what that guy does on a nightly basis. Turned into an absolute beast. Shot maker, gets to the free throw line, creates for his teammates. Just what a surprise Denny is. You know, the guy turned it on at the end of last year. You're like, how much can he retain? And my God, he didn't retain it. He grew. So I love me some Denny. I guess my favorite star, particularly if I just don't stick to where I am today and where I was when he won the championship, I love Giannis. So if we can somehow get Giannis, and if you can somehow get me Giannis and Steph paired up, that would be orgasmic. That would be a beautiful, beautiful end to the Steph Curry era, to watch him be complimented by the Greek Freak. I remember watching the Greek Freak.
That's probably not going to happen. I have a little bit of disdain for him after he completely owned DeAndre Ayton, who's had some good games for the Lakers recently, but completely owned DeAndre Ayton after the Suns took a 2-0 lead in the finals, and I thought I might get a chip for the first time in my life, up 2-0, you know, and then lost 4 straight, and it did not go down. So, I mean, the Greek Freak, yeah, his game's slight weight sexy. I mean, the other guy, like, I know you got a soft spot for Luka, but like Luka's game is not really that aesthetically pleasing. There's not a lot of guys. I mean, Booker, I mean, you told me no Suns, but like Booker's game is at least a little bit probably too much one-on-one, but like he does his thing. And like, I like the way that he rolls for like the most part. There's just not a ton of like, I feel like, and this might be like old man, get off my lawn, but I feel like when we were kids, you could choose between Clyde Drexler and Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley. And if you like back to the basket, Patrick Ewing. If you like the shake, you can pick Hakeem Olajuwon. Like, I feel like there was so many dudes that you could pick between. Nowadays, between how much stuff is just becoming, you know, chuck the three or just get a dunk, there's not like a lot of in-between stuff that you could pick between. So I don't know how many people's game that are that exciting, because I do love Luka, but I don't really love watching him play.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think a lot of that goes to, I'm never going to name my favorite player in the league as a foul baiter, right? And that's part of what we like about Ant. He just plays ball. That's part of what is so easy to like about Steph, is he just plays ball.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I don't watch Giannis enough recently. I watched him more, you know, in the playoffs and his runs. I'm not like seeking out Milwaukee Bucks games. But I don't view him as somebody looking for foul calls. And so that's part of what I like. He's out here just dominating the paint in a way that very few people do these days. So anybody who's just attacking and playing normal basketball is immediately rising up the ranks really, really high to me. And like, yeah, that's the problem with Luka, right? Is he came in the league. He was my favorite player in the league as like a rookie. For a second-year player, you know, I was out here his biggest fan, but now 7-8 years later, I like him. I'm not going to hate on him. But yeah, like a guy who won't commit to defense, a guy that's a foul baiter, like that's never going to be your favorite player. That's terrible. I need a guy.
He's also, he's also facilitating a lot less, right? I mean, I felt like his game used to be a lot more exciting. I feel like it's kind of been a little bit more dumbed down in LA. And LA, I don't know what the hell they're planning on doing with all of their plans in terms of like what goes where and LeBron or whatever. Did you see that whole report that came out with the buses and how it broke up their whole family? And I guess
you can tell if it was real. It's real.
Oh yeah.
I was so surprised. So it's just out there that that LA is in like turmoil ownership over LeBron. Like,
well, I mean, it's over now. Now the people that own the Dodgers own the Lakers.
Oh,
so they're going to run the whole.
I forgot. That's why it makes sense that it came out. I was so confused that came out, and that's why I was like, you know, and I don't.
Well, the big drama
to look into it.
Okay, so the big drama was Jerry Buss. He bought the team in 1979 or whatever. He had the whole, you know, the Lake Show era or whatever, all the championships with Kareem and Magic or whatever, and then Kobe, blah, 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 blah. Then Janine took over, and she basically kind of fired
Jeannie.
That was good. Janine, whatever. Janine. That's a Billism.
Janine.
What's funny is that I knew that I said it wrong when I said it. But anyways, she fired like all of her brothers or whatever. And then she found a deal with the current owners of the Dodgers to buy the team where every sibling, because there was 4 siblings by, say the name, because I'll say it wrong again.
Jeannie.
Jeannie's mom was her mom and 3 of the other siblings. And then Jerry had 2 other kids. Anyways, fired everybody. And then she just retained her position as president. The stuff that came out that LeBron reacted to was that Janine had beef with LeBron because she thought, Jenny Buss thought that LeBron was kind of hijacking the organization or whatever. And that's the stuff that he responded to, which is awkward because even though there's different ownership, and again, all 6 siblings walked away with over $500 million after taxes cash from the sale of the team. But she took herself on to remain the president or whatever, and then fired all the other siblings, and they don't talk to each other. So anyways, that's what LeBron was reacting to, is that she thought that LeBron was hijacking the team or whatever. And I don't really see it like that. But
we were talking Luka and we're talking Lakers. Gabe give me a hard time for not mentioning Austin Reeves, because that's our guy. We've had him in fantasy. He's unbelievable. Austin Reeves is a pretty fun player to watch in the NBA. He does a little bit of the foul baiting, but he's also an absolute gamer. So that's a good call, Gabe. Man, I freaking cannot believe how much of a baller Austin Reeves became. Like, I remember when the Warriors got beat by the Lakers and Jordan Poole his last year, you're kind of thinking, man, if Jordan Poole was just as good as Reeves, or like, is Reeves just better than Jordan Poole? I remember like starting to have these thoughts, and that's before Reeves had really ascended, but he was starting to look good. And my God, did he take off, right? And then all of a sudden, Luka gets traded, and you're like, oh, this can't work. Like, how can he possibly, you're like, damn, that's like, I was just thinking that sucks so much if you're Reeves. You're like, your whole career, everything might be just like totally effed. Like, he was on the verge of getting paid. I'm like, this guy's putting up superstar numbers. No way he can do that. And then he's just doing it. He doesn't even care that Luka's there. I don't even get it. And I do think that puts the Lakers in a very, very, very interesting position. I heard on who was talking about that? I want to say it was maybe Rich Paul on his little podcast, which is so odd that he's having a podcast and talking about the Lakers. It's just weird. Anyway, people were talking about like, does it make sense to trade one of those two between Luka and Reeves? And both people said, one person was making the claim that he would just be bold and take the crazy package you could get for Luka and just roll with Reeves, because Reeves is more of a willing defender and a gamer, and you really don't want your centerpiece not to be a willing defender, no matter how much better he is offensively. And then the dude that was on the cast with him, and I don't remember again, sorry, I'm blanking on both people's whose cast it was, said, wouldn't going to go as far as to say I would do that. I'm not going to say he's as good as him, but he said, I'll tell you this, I can build a team. I think it was Rich Paul. He said, I got no problem building a team around Austin Reeves. So it was his way of saying, like, yeah, he's that good. And if you're telling me I can get everything I can get for Luka, I'll be fine. My team will be great if I end up getting whatever I get and I have Reeves as a centerpiece. So who'd have thought Reeves would turn into that? And that really pushed the Lakers in a pretty crazy position. And it's kind of ridiculous what they don't have around them, right? Like, it's a pretty bad roster, right? Like, they've really put together a pretty bad team. I mean, I don't watch them enough, so it could be unfair to say. Like, I really watch mostly dubs. I mean, I don't know. How much do people watch basketball out there? I'm on this podcast, so sometimes I don't want to oversell, but I also have the ticket and watch like 20 minutes of like 3 games every night. So I certainly watch a lot of these games, and I catch the Lakers here and there all the time. I'm catching a quarter of the Lakers often. And when you're watching them, you're like, seriously? Like, this is who you're throwing out there? Do they have like Sadiq Bey getting big run? I'm pretty sure Sadiq Bey is getting big run on the Lakers. I'm pretty sure Jackson Hayes is getting pretty big run on the Lakers. Like, I'm pretty sure some of the dudes rounding out the LA Lakers rotation are pretty Warriors-esque, are pretty like, why are you in a rotation-esque? Like, why is GP2 getting 20 minutes a game? Like, you want to go back to that? Do we have to rant all the time? Because God damn, when I think about the Warriors, I don't know how I got my brain here. You know, that's the Jimmy and the Coors Light and the hoop talking. How do the Warriors play all these guys 20 minutes? These guys are not NBA rotation players. I mean, just flat out. Anyway, Lakers are doing the same thing. You got to be able to find people better than this. But yeah, God bless, because we don't want the Lakers to win the championship.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they definitely would like to move forward with the Austin Reeves and the Luka Doncic. Like,
hey, let me jump in, Zach. I got to interrupt you. God bless you, Gmail, for fact checking me. Sadiq Bey is not on the Lakers. He's on the Pelicans. You know who is on the Lakers? Probably is it my boy Hachimura? Hachimura's out there like their fourth best player. Maybe that's who I was thinking of. Anyway, that is not ideal either. Hachimura. Anyway. Good looking, Gmail. Thank you for not joining the actual chat line, Gabe, and joining my personal text line so that Dave Greenstein can give me some feedback after this show and tell me to, God damn it, stop looking down and look at the camera. There I am. I'm back. I'm back, boys. I'm looking at that camera. You know what I should start doing to make sure I don't get distracted? Because Dave's right. You know, I actually am totally dialed in. It just is my ADHD. I should just look at Baron Davis all day. Or Derek Fisher, as you would say. If I just stare at Baron, just look at my guy Baron, because there's no – I mean, again, we're talking favorite players in the NBA. If you don't love Baron Davis, who are you? Get out of here. Just don't watch the NBA anymore. If Baron Davis is not one of your favorite players and you like the NBA, you're an idiot. Flat out. How could you have watched NBA?
By the way, I would love for you to take a picture of it.
What's up?
I would love for you to take a picture of that, and then I would love to put it on the poll. Is this Derek Fisher or Baron Davis? I guarantee you. I bet you Derek Fisher would get more votes.
You're just digging your own grave. You're just digging your own grave.
No, I'll bet you a lunch on that.
I know you're just digging your own grave right now because Smitty made that beautiful piece of art. So you want to dig your grave live on the podcast.
God bless Smitty. Smitty frequently makes people that don't look exactly. She purposely makes people that don't look exactly like what she was shooting for. That's her whole thing. Anyways, I think the Lakers are clearly in a situation where they're just trying to wait out LeBron. I mean, I think you could have a situation where you have two young quarter pieces and then you have an old guy that's on his way out or whatever that's still balling. I'm not hating on LeBron, but they're clearly trying to make that transition, and they've already made it clear that Luka is their dude. He's the future. That's it. So, you know, kind of similar to what's going on with Golden State, but really not that different.
All right, Patrick Ewing or David Robinson?
Hate to say it, but David Robinson.
Yeah, me too. All right, Clyde Drexler or Dominique Wilkins?
Dominique Wilkins.
Terry Porter or Joe Dumars?
That's not like an equal comp. Say it again.
And pick one. Terry Porter or Joe Dumars?
Joe Dumars, but Terry Porter was a small forward and Joe Dumars was a shooting guard.
Terry Porter was not a small forward. Terry Porter was a tiny guard. He was tiny.
Terry Porter was a small forward.
Go Google it. You want me to trust me? You don't want to die on this hill. Just trust your boy.
All right.
And Google it and tell me if I'm wrong. But trust your boy. I'm not going to be wrong. I'm 100% sure. Terry Porter was.
I like this game.
Okay. I'm gonna keep you coming with a lot of them, and they're gonna be so random. Some of them are gonna be easier than others, but you're gonna just live through it. Charles Oakley or Anthony Mason? Your enforcer. Which one you want?
Oof. And you couldn't have been more right about Terry Porter. He wasn't even a shooting guard. He was a point guard.
Yeah, I know. Clyde the Glide was a shooting guard.
He was 6'3". I thought he was a small forward. What did you say? Sorry.
Charles Oakley or Anthony Mason? Your enforcer.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's That's such an annoying question because those two should be in opposite comparisons, in which I would take them both individually, and whoever else you gave me in those comparisons. If I have to take one of the two, I'm taking Charles Oakley.
Okay, how about this? Charles Oakley and Anthony Mason, or Dale Davis and Antonio Davis? Give me the Davis.
Charles
brothers.
Oakley and Anthony Mason.
Give me the Davis brothers all day, every day. Ain't nobody fucking
softer.
Davis brothers.
Softer. Nobody. First of all, watch your mouth with the F words. Second of all, nobody's bleeping with Charles Oakley and Anthony Mason as a duo. Yeah, nobody wants to see that. Nobody. Not Rodman.
Either, bro.
No, not Rodman, not Pippen. Nobody wants to see Charles Oakley and Anthony Mason.
All right, how about this? If we put it on a poll.
By the way, I love, just so you know, Art, I love the Davis brothers.
No, I know. If we put it on a poll, I was just going to joke and say everybody's going to take the Oakley Mason. They're the original, for our era, the original OGs.
Original gangsters.
Okay, how about this? Here we go. Zadrunas or Rick Smits?
Oof. I got to go with the Blazers. I got to go with Zadrunas.
Well, Zadrunas, you're thinking about Arvydas.
Oh, Arvydas. Who?
I said Ilgauskas. Zadrunas is what I said. Ilgauskas. I said his first name. Zadrunas. Ilgauskas. The Cavs center.
Oh, Smith. Who was the first one? I'm confused.
You don't remember Zadrunas Ilgauskas, the center for LeBron James Cavs, the center, the tall dude, raw as hell.
Yeah, I'm not taking him.
Well, obviously, you can barely even remember him. Of course, you don't like him.
No, I remember him. He had a bald spot. I remember him. Yeah. No, he was terrible. Who was my other choice? Rick Smits. I'm taking Smits.
Okay. Stacey Augmon or Sam Perkins?
I got to go with Big Smooth.
Okay. Detlef Schrempf.
Seattle sharpshooter.
I got a good one here. I got a real good one here. Okay. Detlef Schrempf or Dan Marley?
Ooh. Got to go Thunder Dan.
Kevin Johnson.
Even though I think Detlef Schrempf is Dutch.
Kevin Johnson or Tim Hardaway?
Ooh, where are you getting these? You going on AI or something?
Hell no, that's my brain.
Kevin Johnson or Tim Hardaway? I mean, Kevin Johnson was a part of my son's. I think he had better defense. I got to go KJ.
BJ Armstrong.
That's tough, though.
Yeah, that's real tough. I think most people will go Tim Hardaway. BJ Armstrong or Steve Kerr?
Well, BJ was a 1 and Kerr was a 2. I'd go BJ.
Fair.
I'd go BJ.
Kerr wasn't the 2, though. I mean, Jordan's the 2. Kerr's the point guard. And Kerr was the 2 also on.
I don't think Kerr ever took the ball up.
I know, but he's the 1. I mean, Jordan ain't the point guard. I'm just matter of factly, he's the point guard on that team. You know what I mean? I mean, by default, he's not.
I don't think Kerr.
Well, yeah, he's when they're playing, it's like Steve Kerr, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant, and Bill Cartwright. He's the point guard. I mean, just by default, he ain't.
I think Jordan carried the ball though. Anyways, it doesn't matter.
Of course, he carried the ball, but he ain't. We all know what position does Michael Jordan play, Zach?
2.
There you go. So okay.
But when him and Kerr are on he's the one that passed to Kerr for the game winner. He was the point guard. Kerr was still the 2 guard. Kerr was never a point guard. Anyway, doesn't matter.
The 2 guard can have the ball in their hand.
Okay.
Same thing was happening in the 98 team, right? Who was the point guard of the second 3-peat? You can remember this, right? Let's rack that brain. Who was the point guard? Los Angeles Clippers superstar. Come on.
Not Ron Harper.
Hell yeah. Ron Harper. Guy was their point guard.
He wasn't the point guard, though.
Who's the point guard, bro? Who do you think is the point guard of these teams?
Jordan.
So then you're just all of a sudden claiming Michael Jordan's a point guard. And now everybody, I wish we had 2.2 million viewers on the chat line because they'd all rip you because, of course, Michael Jordan is the shooting guard. and Scottie Pippen's the small forward, and Dennis Rodman is the power forward, and Bill Wennington is the center, or Luke Longley is the center. Like, what do you want?
Yeah, you're right.
Guys out
AI
here
says
telling me
Ron
Jordan's
Harper.
the point guard. Come on.
No, you're right. AI says Ron Harper was the primary starting point guard for the 97-98 Chicago Bulls championship team.
I mean, of
He
course.
started all 82 games during that season.
You having to Google this is the biggest flag on Bill's entire history of flags.
Well, you think of Ron Harper as a point guard?
I know that I
don't.
How old was I during that three-peat? 6, 97. I'm 13, 14, and 15 years old. We're talking the most formative sports years of my life. We're talking Michael Jordan was very obviously, I can name the starting 5 easily, right? And so with that, by default, he's the point guard. Because we already know the 2 is Jordan, Pippen's the 3, and Rodman's the 4.
All right, give me your next comparison. I'm done with this mandering.
Okay, Sam Cassell or Kenny Smith?
Ooh.
That was good. That was real good. I enjoyed saying it out loud.
Well, first of all, you picked guys that were teammates.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
Sam.
Okay.
Longer career, I believe. Sam had the testicle moment with the Celtics, didn't he?
Of course.
He had a big shot and did the testicle. Yeah, I'm going Sam.
I don't remember if that was the Celtics. He had so many big.
Kenny won 2 chips with Hakeem. Did Sam win both of those 2?
Yeah, Sam Cassell was that team's catalyst. I mean, he at least won one.
Then Sam
won
longevity.
Yeah,
and liked him more.
Exactly. Sam
Although Kenny the Jet is now on TNT, you see him every day. But yeah,
I'm going Sam. What a set of knees and legs on that guy. I mean, nobody knows what happened. Kenny Smith. What's going on with those legs?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean? Have you ever watched the show?
Yeah, what's wrong with him?
The guy's legs are like this. The guy's legs. You
mean bow-legged?
More than bow-legged, man. What do you mean? When you look at him as a normal human being when he's walking around?
I've met people that have been bow-legged before.
There's tons of bow-legged people. I'm knock-kneed. There's people that are knock-kneed. There's this, there's that. That guy's legs.
So what's your problem?
The guy's legs are at a 45-degree angle. The guy's at damn near a 90-degree angle. His knee is damn near at a 90-degree angle the wrong way. You're out here just talking about it like it's normal.
You're saying that you know other people that have deformities like that. That is a little bit
Shaq
weird.
or Hakeem?
You're saying that his is extreme?
Shaq or Hakeem?
Oh, wow. Man, you know, there's like a drinking game with this dude from the East Coast, Noriega or whatever. And they have a thing where they say like Tupac or Biggie, and you either have to drink if you don't answer. I would have to drink on this. My initial instinct. Okay, what I want to say. All right, I'm not going to have a definitive answer. What I want to say is Hakeem. What I would actually say is Shaq. But I think if Shaq, I think if Hakeem had what Shaq had throughout his career, he would have had more titles than Shaq did.
Okay.
I mean, that's a cop-out answer. So my answer would be I'll just drink because I don't want to answer. Again, my answer would have to be Shaq. I would want to say Hakeem, and I really don't want to say either. That's a great one. That was better than your Cassell.
I think
Kenny
Shaq
Smith.
probably gets it just because he's so powerful. But like Hakeem was so much better at hoop. Like
skilled, I know.
Yeah.
And worked harder and did more with less.
Yeah. Okay. Robert Williams, Bob Bill, Gabe's boy, Celtic, now Portland Trailblazer, or Mitch Robinson. Robert Williams or Mitch Robinson? Who you taking?
That is so random and irrelevant and not as cool as all the other ones before.
Gabe asked for it. Gabe gets it.
Gabe asked for it? Gabe asked. If Gabe asked for it, I'd go Mitch Robb. I like him a lot.
Yeah, we like Mitch Robb.
Yeah.
Tim Duncan or Shaq?
Tim Duncan or Shaq? I mean, one's a power forward, one's a center, right? Duncan, unfortunately. And I hate Duncan more than anybody in the world.
But you went Duncan semi-quickly over Shaq.
Yep. And nobody hates Duncan more than me.
Yeah, I like Duncan. I like Duncan quite a bit.
I hate him. Yep. Got any more?
Yeah, I mean, I could do this forever, but I don't know if we should do this forever.
Grant, how about I give you one? Grant Hill or Penny?
Penny. And I love both. Penny, man. You watch Shaq talk about Penny. You watch some old Penny highlights.
Grant Hill had a longer career.
No, that was about as good as it gets. Oh, if we're just talking actual career, who had a better career, I'm going Grant Hill.
Well, they were both injured.
Yeah, I'm going Grant Hill if you're asking me.
Wait, were you asking me on just who you like?
No, but I was kind of more in my head thinking who's better, not who had a better career.
Yeah.
So I was sort of picturing it more. I mean, yeah.
Not factoring in.
If we ever do this.
Grant Hill was raw, bro.
I mean, if we ever want to do this as a segment, which I think could be really fun, I think I've told you that, and we could kind of set this up a little differently. Then we'd have to set the parameters, of really what we're talking about. But here I was just, in my head, I was a little bit thinking more like, I wasn't just thinking like at their absolute peak, but at their general peak. You know what I mean? Like their general peak, who do you think was better?
Oh.
And for me, Penny.
Well, that changes the whole. I mean, you should have structured it.
Well, what were you answering? Just so we know what you were answering. How were you taking it? Just career? Who had a better career?
No, I was taking it more like who I would want for. I don't know.
We're the same.
5-year period.
That's kind of what I'm. Yeah, that's sort of what I mean. Yeah. Who do you want?
Yeah.
Who do you want? Yeah. I want Penny. I want the point guard for the LSU. I want the LSU Tigers. Is that what they were? The LSU Tigers, or did they make up the team? It was LSU, right?
LSU. Shaq went to LSU.
No, I'm talking
about.
He
coaches at Memphis.
Sorry, I was just talking. I wasn't talking about where he went to
Memphis.
school. I was talking about Blue Chips, the movie. That wasn't at LSU. That was just a fake college.
That was I think that was a fake school. Yeah,
one of the best movies ever.
Penny went to Memphis. Penny went to Memphis, and Shaq went to LSU.
If you are young and you happen to be listening to us and you don't know what Blue Chips are, if Blue Chips are, flag on me. If you don't know what the movie Blue Chips is, you need to go watch that movie and have the best time of your life. Because I watched that movie so
Nick Nolte.
Such a fun freaking movie. Oh my God. Just, when you're young, you watch all these sports movies and they don't get the sports right. And that movie got the sports right. So every time there's a sports team, you feel like you're watching a game. And then you're watching the most popular basketball players in the world. And then they found a way to get the guys that weren't real basketball players to be your favorite players. The guy that was in radio class funking, the country dude that was out there just balling. Like they found, I mean, there's that movie is just out of this world good. So Blue Chips, baby. We had a real live chat tonight on the chat line.
Are you being sarcastic?
Oh, yeah. We got 0 chats other than Gabe on the old text, other than this chat line. We got some on this chat line.
Yeah.
But
well, we didn't do much promotion, dog. You kind of sprung this on at the last minute. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I'm not too worried about that. We're just out here having a good time. Should we wrap it up here soon and just remind the people it's Sunday? You got anything left on your mind?
Sunday, come through. Kingfish, you dig. What's the exact address again for the millionth time?
Man,
anyways, anybody watching or listening, just Google Kingfish. We'll be there from about 12:30, they're saying. We'll probably be there a little bit earlier than that. Probably be there about noon, setting up. Come through, kick it. We got a private little room. Eat, drink, be merry. Watch the 2 conference games. We should probably save our predictions and whatnot.
I'll put it in the chat
for when we broadcast.
2.2 million. I'm gonna get it in there like that. But it is 5227 Telegraph Ave. Come join us. Have a good time.
5227 Telly. Come holla at your boys.
Yeah.
We're going to have a good time and whatnot.
Happy Friday night,
All right,
y'all.
Pippin.
Peace.
Peace.